Hey guys, it's me again. I'm going to today go through some Guardian gameplay. Guardians are the frontline heavy tank type of people. They wear heavy armor and heavy shield. They can also use two-handed weapons for offensive purposes. As evidence there. And let's see where yeah, you know the drill by now. The three trait lines: red, yellow, blue. Red is meant for damage or DPS and focuses more, and you usually use like two-handed weapons for this. Blue line is meant for taking, and you can use the sorter board, or which is what gamers like to call the one-handed weapon, and shield, the tactic. And this one focuses on tanking. And then the fighter shadow is kind of a mix between the two, if I'm reading this right. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of running around in the red line, kind of show you how that works. And they got a couple of reactionary chain events. One of them, which I've been showing off here, is the parry chain event, which activates after you successfully parry an attack. The two opening skills for that are retaliation, which whacks your selected target, and then whirling retaliation, which does an area of effect attack. Now, once you use that, it'll go to the second part of the chain. One of them is Overwhelm, which basically does a crap ton of damage, and then Wound, which does less damage initially, but does some. It causes a bleed. And then the final in the chain is the To the King, which again does a buttload of damage, and it decreases the Guardian's attack duration. It increases melee damage for and if you'll give me a second, I'll switch over to blue line so I can show that off a bit. Switch weapons. So now I've got a one-handed axe and a heavy shield. So I'll show that off here for a little bit. It does less. Okay, so there's the blue line. You'll notice that I was using the block chain here, and then the initial one is the shield swipe, which basically attacks with both your weapon and your shield. And then catch a breath, which I think unlocks after you parry or block, and it restores power and health, which in this game is called morale. And then the second part of the chain, which activates after a successful shield swipe, basically causes you to bash your selected target with your shield. It causes damage, causes you 3-second stun, and interrupts inductions. And then shield taunt, which basically increases your threat and decreases your enemy's block, parry, and evade chance. And shield smash, which is basically shield bash, but area of effect. And for weapons, they can use a bow and a crossbow for attracting unwanted attention. And then they can use all the armors, plus light and heavy shields. And then for weapons, bows, crossbows, yep. And then they can use daggers, one-handed axes, clubs, hammers, maces, and swords, and spears. And then two-handed axes, clubs, hammers, and swords. And then, obviously, if you're using a two-handed weapon, you cannot use this. Do not use the sword or shield, rather. So it's basically trading some defense for some offense. That's what you're doing here. So there's that. So yeah, like I said, in my previous video when I was discussing the champion, or was it Runekeeper? I can't remember. But Guardians are a bit more frontline, take all the damage, soak all the damage, and just soak all the damage. Just stand there and be a brick wall, basically. Whereas the Warden is more medium armor, evade, and then with their heal over time stuff. I mean, the Guardians do have a few self heals, I think, but and then their main way of like forcing the reaction forcing threat on acquiring threat rather is the challenge, which draws up to 7 targets within a 7-meter radius away from your friends, which lasts for about 9 seconds, has a cooldown of 1 minute. I thought it was 45 seconds. Maybe it's in the tanking line. Let me see. Nope, still the same, but the tanking line adds, increases block and parry rating, and increases partial parry and block chance, and -5, and decreases armor wear from hits, and decreases power cost. So that's nice. That's only in the blue tanking line, however.
I have not seen your kind before.
Don't know if that's an initial thing, or if it's... we have to trade for that, but... yeah. Also, usually all classes have like some sort of base induction interrupts. The Guardians have like 3. Stamp, which can be used whenever you want, and then Bash, and then Shield Smash, which can only be used after in these block chain succession thing. So if you don't have a block set up, chain opened up, and you need to interrupt an induction like immediately, Stamp is there for that assistance. There's a 19-second cooldown. I think champions have like the shortest cooldown on their interrupts, like at all. Period. Whatever. What's going on here? Okay, so right now they've got they're granting a 10% virtue experience gain. Let's see, where is it? Virtues. Okay. I'll explain that after I take this person out. How'd you miss? It was right in front of you. Oh, I also forgot to mention that Tear the King starts a fellowship maneuver when it crits or devastate crits. You can also start a fellowship maneuver after getting stunned, dazed, or knocked down, which also shake those off. I forgot to mention that in my burglar video, that burglars have a skill that is like a 5-minute cooldown or whatever that basically guarantees a fellowship maneuver. Basically, the fellowship maneuver unlocks whenever you do that, and I think there's like a random chance of it starting. I don't know what the chance is, but oh, virtues, right. So the virtues are kind of like traits that like increase various stats. I'm not sure which ones are best for guardians, so I'm sure there are guides out there that'll help with that. Race traits, which are specific to each of the races here in the game. Dwarves get a Guile and Might bonus, which basically increases their damage from the Guile and Might Fellowship maneuver skills. Dwarf Axe damage bonus, which adds 5% damage to one and two-handed damage. I don't know if that's just for auto attacks or if it's for skills as well. I'm sure there's some information out there. Fateful Dwarf, which basically increases your fate. Well, hey, another player. A level 124 champion. What the heck are you doing up in here? Oh, level cap recently got upped to 130. Anyways, so return to Thorn's Gate, which is like a trait and a skill. You have to have the trait equipped in order to get the skill. The skill has an hour-long cooldown and will return you to Thorn's Gate, which is basically where the dwarves start off when you create a new one. And it is way the heck over here. Let's see, I'm down up in here, and Thorn's Hall is way up here. It's up in this little corner right here. And here's the Thorn's Hall homesteads. And then here's Thorn's Gate proper. The Elven intro phase is set up in here. I think there's a cave. I think the dwarf intro starts in Thorn's Gates and then goes into like the Silver Deep Mine, which is like right here. So they start up in this area. And then when the elves pop out of their intro, they'll well, there's like a introduction instance which basically gives you the basics on how to play, and then there's an introduction like phase where you get to hop around like a little tiny area and basically gives you the basics on how to go around the world and do stuff, like questing and whatnot. So elves and dwarves will start here in this little area and bounce around Thorn's Gate. Then when they exit, the dwarves will start right up in here outside Thorn's Hall. And then elves will start in Celandem, which is down in this corner. And then initially they'll have like a split storyline, but they'll meet up around here at Gondamon. Or is it Thrash's Lodge? Somewhere up in here. And basically they'll merge the two together and they'll finish out together. So that'll be the prologue. And then hobbits and humans will have their own introduction instance, and then their introduction phase will be up in Archet. Once humans finish, they'll start here in Archet and then work down to like Breland and stuff for their prologue. And then once hobbits come out of their intro phase thingy, they'll go back to the Shire and start off in little delving and then bounce around all over the place. Once everybody's prologues are complete, they'll come all the way over here to Bree, the Prancing Pony, which I think is right about here. Yep, right here. And then they'll start off with Volume 1. So basically, everybody's prologues will start off right before Frodo and Sam decide to get rolling with their quest.
The Ukwirod requires us to give welcome to Delonia.
So anyways, well, that's enough of that. So I will catch you on the next video.